Hey there, welcome back to the Dawghouse. So this is a video, and it's a little bit different than what we have been putting out. I wanted to do a kind of introduction type video, give everybody a good look at exactly who's part of our, the canine kids of our household. So I'll start with Amadeus. He is our oldest. He's a 13-year-old Presa Canario Mastiff. Josh had him and his sister before he met me, so he had them since they were puppies. They were his guard dogs of his house. He is now an ex-guard dog of Josh's. We no longer have his sister Presa. She lived to be about 12, and they had the best life out there. They had a job, they dug holes, they did all kinds of dog stuff, they wrestled with each other, they barked at squirrels. They even ate some cats together. So I moved in 2013, and lo and behold, I had cats, and I had a Dexter, a little Dexter dog, and a Harvey. I had to figure out how to get these dogs to live together. And I've had hard dogs living with each other, but these are definitely two big dogs. They would get into some tussles. When these two dogs fought, which I wasn't really used to, they did not stop. They do not stop. So it was always a big fear to have an accident in the house if it wasn't between them two. They never really hurt each other because they're both big, strong dogs. We knew that if they got a hold of like one of our cats or Dexter, that it would be a big issue. We were really, really successful with the basic use of a couple of baby gates, having them be exposed as much as possible through baby gates, and just in time they all got used to each other. They now, here in this new house, they live together. They can all be loose together. Everything's fine. Even the cats. The cats can go up to Amadeus and roll on him and even nibble on his ear playfully and paw at him and mess with him and tease him, and he knows just to get up and walk away. I was able to successfully have him and Purdy when she was alive. They successfully lived together in the house. We definitely played it safe for forever. We still do. One time after this video, I'll probably do more of a tour of the house and how we do a multi-dog household. I think somebody asked for that in the comments previously, and I would definitely be happy to show you guys how we kind of handle and manage our dogs. Moving on, our next down the line would be, our next oldest is Harvey. Harvey is a 12-year-old Pitbull mix, possibly boxer or something. We'll never know. Harvey came to me from the shelter when I worked there. He was about 6 weeks old, and he came into the shelter with 10 other siblings. He was found with all of them in a big dirty crate on the side of the road full of hay. I had no intentions at that time when I was working in the shelter to take him home, foster him, or anything like that. It was feeding time, and the kennel tech at the time ran him in limp. She had found him kind of like passed out, half dead in the bowl that they were all feeding out of. Long story short, we basically figured out is that he was so infested with just intestinal parasites, just worms, puppy worms, that he became so anemic that it was killing him. After 3 blood transfusions and a few days of me tube feeding this 6-7 week old pity puppy on my mom's kitchen counter, I finally got him to start eating on his own, and I decided, and he was going with me everywhere because he had to. He was like an infant at that point, and so touch and go with whether or not he was going to make it or not. At that point, he was my dog. There was no way I could just give up to foster and throw him in the shelter cage again and have people look by and pick and choose. Couldn't do it. He was my dog. Moving on to Mr. Popular, Dexter the dog. He is our 5-year-old Boston Terrier that I got when he was about 3 months old. A family brought him in, and he was 3 months old. He was basically dying of parvo disease. They were very uneducated with dogs in general. They didn't know why he was having diarrhea and vomiting all over their house. So their solution to that was to put him in the backyard so he could do all that out there. They also didn't realize that puppies, young dogs, should have water. They thought that they were supposed to drink regular human, like cow's milk from the fridge. So he was pretty malnourished. They eventually wanted to sign him over to us, to the clinic, and I took over responsibility of his treatment and, you know, and all the finances and stuff like that. Went back and forth to work with me every single day, and he survived, became Mr. Dexter. We had no idea how he was going to impact our lives. There's a lot of people that are big fans of Dexter as well. He's got his own little fan base. Even Kylie out in the UK has a portrait tattooed of him on her arm. So her and I have both of them. I actually just finished mine too. I have long sleeves on, so I can't really show it, and that's him in the background. That brings us down to our last addition, Mr. Grimm. Grimace is our 5-month-old German Shepherd. He's not a typical German Shepherd as far as I'm concerned yet. I grew up with German Shepherds just because my mom grew up with German Shepherds in Germany. So when she came here and had me and was raising me when I was little, before we ever got our first one, it was just like pounded into my brain that German Shepherds are like the best dogs ever and the only ones that we'll ever own. I found Grimm from a guy who was rehoming him a week after he actually purchased him from a breeder, and we decided that I'd go meet him and everything like that, and obviously we took him right home. He is definitely not what I expected. I keep calling him more of like he's way more of a golden retriever puppy than a German Shepherd puppy. I liked the idea of the challenge to create a really great German Shepherd, and just to put a really good German Shepherd into the community. It also is a chance for me to get out of my shell a little bit. I've definitely, like I said, over the last year or so, I've jumped back into my shell. I've almost become unsocialized. With socializing a puppy and a dog, you're also end up socializing yourself. So I get out, I'm talking to more people, I'm talking to people in a different way. I actually have something to talk about, which is something I'm passionate about, something I have an idea about. So it's easier for me to talk about things. So it's helping me come out of my shell. It's also social at the same time. I'm socializing him. It's a big positive circle is the way I look at it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to catch some more videos to come. So thanks for watching. Bye.